So here we're going to look at how to diagram on Phoenix Mobile, primarily using Android. However, if you're using Apple, you're going to have the same basic concepts. However, the layout may look a little differently. So first we're going to start with going to sketches, because right here we see we're at the main screen of a case. And you see your different boxes down here at the bottom. So we're going to go to sketches. So you just click on the box. Here we have a blank canvas. We have no diagrams present at this point. So you hit your yellow plus symbol down at the bottom right. And you notice now you have your ability to do a diagram. We have our options up at the top: draw, select, pan, stamp, other. So primarily we're going to use the draw feature. So to get us started, you need to just find a space on the screen. You can either tap the screen, or if you hit enter, you'll see your red dot pop up. You'll see, and notice how it has a black circle around the red dot. That's indicating that it's ready to draw a wall. So let's say our house is 30 feet wide. So as you measure the front of the home, we get 30 feet our dimension. So then down here at the bottom, you see your number pad. So we're going to type in 30. And we're going to go over to the other side. We're going to see the arrow keys. And we're going to do 30 to the right, because that's the direction that we measured in. And so you have your wall. However, it's not drawn yet because it has the red dots. And so when it has the red dotted line, that means it's not a completed wall. In order to complete it, you have to hit enter. Once you hit enter, then it becomes a solid black line. And notice we have our black circle around a red dot. That means we're ready to start from that point to do our next wall. So as we go to move around the house, we measure the right wall. And we measured at 40 feet. So once we get to that corner, we type in 40. We hit up because that's the direction we walked. Then we hit enter. So we've measured 2 walls on that side of the home. All right. Now, however, let's say we measured there was an attached structure, say a open porch on the right side of the risk. Well, as we came to it, we measured the distance of it as 12 feet. All right. So we recalled that distance of the distance of the open porch being 12 feet. So in order to do that, once we got to the end of our corner, we would draw our wall to 40 feet, but then we would use two fingers to zoom. Right. So if we do this, we can pan. Once we use 2 fingers, we can pan, get the particular get the line in a particular place. And so let's say the wall or the open porch was 12 feet, but it started at 15 feet. All right, so we have to find that location. So we're still on our draw tool. And notice right here, there's a little white dot. Well, that's the halfway mark between or in that wall. So over here, you have a little white dot. That's a halfway mark. On that one, it would be 15 foot. This one, it is at 20 foot because it's halfway on that 40-foot wall. So our open porch starts at 15 foot. So you just tap somewhere along the wall, and then you notice how it gives you the measurements here. So we're looking at 12 foot. So it's supposed to be 15 foot. So, okay, so we just tap back and then we try it again. Oh, now we're at 14. And now we're at 15. Okay, So at one of the ends of our houses, we measured the depth of that porch at 5 foot. Okay, so it's a 5 foot by 12 foot open porch. So once we found our starting location, then we come down here to our number pad. We type in 5. We hit to the right. We hit enter. All right, so we have our depth marker. Now we type in 12, our width of that. We hit enter. Now, we could type in 5 and complete that out. Or we could drag our wall. But another way to do it is snapping it. So if we go to our arrow keys right down here, and we just hit that little left button, it goes to the very next line, all right? And that happens to be the exact place we want it to go. So we hit enter. Okay, so our open porch, it is not complete at that point. Remember, we have to do all 4 lines of every single component, even when they correspond with a line of a different component. So we have our dot there that has the circle around it. We're going to use our snap tool again. We're just going to snap down, and it goes to the completed section where our open porch is. We hit enter, and then now it gives us the option to identify that component. This is an attached structure. It is an open porch, and it has a single story. All right, so our component is identified. So we hit done, and that way it's saved. But notice how it's all jumbled right here. So we want to clean that up. So again, we use our 2 fingers to scroll. We get it into a manageable position where it's big enough for us to see it and to maneuver things. We notice that the title of the component is not going to fit inside the box. So we need to move that title. So we go up here to the select tool. We hit select. Then we come down. We grab. We make sure we get it. We grab our title. And then we also grab our square footage. And we bring it out here. But we need to make it to where everyone can see where that open porch is. So then we go back up here to our tabs. We go to other. We find the interior button, and then we bring in a line off to the edge. Notice 2 things. Notice we use the interior lines. We don't use the draw line. We also bring it off at an angle. That way it's not confused with a wall, and it's clearly identifying that the open porch is there. And we're not going into the diagram. We're just going to the wall, and we're stopping there. So it's a very nice indicator on how to, on what that open porch is identifying. Then we hit our done button, and then we have our front and our right wall complete, and the open porch that was off the side of our home. So, quick overview. Use your number pads. Make sure you, after you measure a side of the wall, you draw that side of the wall. You also want to use your arrow keys. We also want to make sure that we complete every single wall of a component, even when it overlaps a previous component. All right, so that's how you can do a basic drawing, or basic diagram on Phoenix.